looks like we're live. And go on and off, finishing, twirling. Okay, I'm here. And I have a tip for you. You always have a choice. You always have a choice. There may not be all positive choices. There may be not even one positive one, the one you really, really want that you could really get into. But there's always a choice. This is how it came to me this morning. Numbers of things have not been going the way I want. Some of them are really big ones, and it's really difficult. This whole building trust muscles in who God is serious business. And then the little things start to pile up. Like you drop a glass, it slips out of your hands and shatters on the floor. Now you have to clean that up on top of everything else that's in front of you today. Or hypothetically, you're at the gym and you're trying to get through your workout because you have a lot going on. And it seems every time you go toward a piece of equipment, somebody else is on it. And then you have to juggle again and move around. It used to be I couldn't do that, by the way. That if it wasn't in the exact order, then I was lost. I'd have to go sit down and wait. It's like, okay, I've grown a lot. Yes, I've grown a lot. This is a big point for me today. It was happening over and over again. Not exactly the equipment thing, but that was happening several times. And another time I was lifting some weights and I've tweaked my back somehow. And so I had a 15-pound. That's what I normally used. I did that once or twice. I was like, uh-oh, that's not working. Go back over to the rack, get a 12.5. Come on, you know how this works. Come back over, try the 12.5. Uh-oh, that's not working either. Put it back. Then I get to take a 10-pound. 10 pounds. I haven't used 10 pounds for this particular, it's called an RDL. I haven't used a 10-pound of that in, I don't know, a year. And so talk about going backwards, and I'm discouraged and I'm unhappy and I'm going back and forth when I'm trying to get done and get where I need to go and do what I need to do. And suddenly, come on, you're with it. Suddenly it feels like the whole world is against me. It isn't just some things that are happening this day, and it's some of them are kind of usual. Somebody being on a piece of equipment that I want. And I've adjusted and go elsewhere. So like, what's the big deal? Because they keep piling up. And then after a while, it feeds into one of those old misperceptions that come from trauma. So this is another trauma tip. So if you've had any sort of an unsettled childhood, we'll just call it that, as I have, and all of us, honestly, have not. There's nobody who's had a perfect childhood, even if they think they did. Even if they think it was 90%. It wasn't. There's other things going on that you're not aware of. Well, with an immature mindset, awareness of the world, and the kind of thing that happens to little kids. And the earlier it happens, the more intense it can be, the more tricky it is to really get into the healing journey on there. But, infants, all they know is their own world. If they're wet, they're hungry, they need stimulation, or there's too much stimulation, and they're calling out for support and attention. Because their world is all they know. They're the center of it. Of course, that's what they do. And that's how it's set up by God. But if those needs don't get met, and as the child grows, and that perception remains because nobody's helping them develop an awareness of the world. There's no co-regulation going on about the mind or the body or the spirit. It's just this kid struggling to survive in a world that they can't comprehend at that age. And so after a while, it does start to feel personal. Like, why can't I have this? Why isn't anybody responding to my needs? Why am I always alone in this space over here in this small corner? Must be something wrong with me. Must be something wrong with me. I don't know. I can't make myself cuter. Maybe I could act cuter. Maybe I could work harder. Maybe I could do more different things. Maybe I could stay aware of what helps the people around me, and then I could do those things, and they'll be happier with me, and I'll get the attention that I need. Anyway, I don't want to get too far away from this point. As that was happening to me this morning at the gym, I caught myself. I was heading down that pity party trail when that thought comes that says, oh, the result is that I know that I'm taking everything personally. And the thought is, I don't know what your thought is, but pay attention and figure it out, because then you'll know, you'll be aware, I'm headed down that pity party trail, pity party pathway. We could call it that. So here's the thought. These are the words that come up. Here we go again. It's always the same. Here we go again. More stuff happened to me. I'll never win. When those things hit, it's very, very dangerous. It is sort of like pulling out one of those pegs, one of those sticks in Jenga. Or a domino, you have your dominoes lined up, even if it's one in the middle that tips, then everything cascades. And it's dangerous. It's really dangerous because it's a lie. It's not personal. Well, of course, the enemy stacks these things up. Yes. But we listen to this now, we live in a fallen world. And these things happen. Yes, God is sovereign over everything. And sometimes he brings cascading difficulties to get my attention. Maybe yours too. I don't know. You check it out. Because when I realize, here I'm going down and that it cancels out the truth. I'm never alone. God is always with me. If the way these things are coming, whether he's sovereignly caused it or allowed it, I have an opportunity here. And this goes right back to the tip. I have an opportunity. I can choose. I can choose to go make that choice and go back to what I know is true. That God is in charge, that Jesus is with me, that I am special to him, that he is good. Everything he says is good. Everything he does is good. This is an opportunity for me to choose God over anything and everything else. That was a gift, That's a gift that was given to us in the garden. Man got the opportunity to choose. It was a gift granted to us. Well, God probably had countless reasons why he gave it to us, but one for sure is we're not puppets. We don't just love him because he programmed a little chip to have us love him. No. Does he love us so much to the point where, that's how it was for me, but I didn't even recognize it exactly at the time, but I've come to understand. He's been loving me so well for so long. How could I not love him back? Part of that was, yes, my awareness of who he is and all that, but my awareness before him, how much I need and want that relationship with the Father and how far short I fall of it. Okay, so Jesus made up the difference. He paid the ransom and I get access now. All those awarenesses along the way. And so that's the one today that really came to me very strongly. Well, Sandra, you have a choice here. You can continue to go down this pathway, pity party pathway, or you can come back to what you know is true. The truth true truth, as Francis Schaeffer used to say, the true truth, and build your life on that. Turn my thoughts. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can do that but me. Just like flossing my teeth. Nobody else. Okay. I did turn it around. I cranked my music up to drown out some of those other thoughts. But that is my choice today, and I encourage you to make the same one. That's the tip. You always have a choice, as I do. We can choose God. And I believe that's where it starts, in the heart, in the mind, the body, the spirit. Well, you know, Romans 12:2, transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I'm not going down that way. I'm going down this way. And then the body and the spirit. You cannot only make that decision in the mind. The body has to follow. So repeating the truths and remembering them and allowing them to sink down into my body too, because my spirit is right there coming in. All right. That's my tip for today. I encourage you, pause, especially when Holy Spirit is pointing out to you that you're headed in the wrong direction. Okay, that's my tip. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.